Hi Cliff, welcome for being at Obug 2015 and being the keynote speaker and honorable guest. Explain our viewers what all roadmaps are on EBS, but maybe you can explain first who Cliff is and what you do within Oracle.
So I'm Cliff Godwin, and I manage eBusiness Suite development in Oracle.
Cliff, we're kind of used of enormous slide decks that you are used to give. In a nutshell, what's the current position of Oracle eBusiness Suite within the Oracle Applications Unlimited program?
So we are continuing to develop eBusiness Suite. There are going to be new releases, new functionality. Customers can be confident of their investments in eBusiness Suite. In parallel with eBusiness Suite, we're building out the most complete set of cloud applications in the industry, and the real message is that hybrid is the new normal. People are continuing to run EBS for many purposes, and they're also alongside that adopting many of our cloud solutions. So the key thing I've been stressing is that customers have a lot of flexibility, a lot of choice in how they move toward the cloud while continuing to run EBS for whatever operations they choose to continue to run it for.
Okay, Cliff, thanks. Best of both worlds. Now the main question is, you launched 12.2 about a year ago, more than a year ago. A lot of customers are on 12.1. What's the pickup on that? Should I pick 12.1 or should I pick 12.2 for the EBS release?
Right, no, that's a very fair question. Most of the customers are on the 12.1 release, probably 80% or more of our customer base is, but at this point we have a pretty substantial number of customers either already live or about to be live on 12.2, probably a couple of hundred, including some major divisions of General Electric and some other large customers. So at this point, we're not really asking people on 12.1 to move to 12.2. I'm happy if they stay on 12.1 and get more value out of the investments they've already made. But if you're starting a new project and or you need the online patching or some of the other features that we have in 12.2, you can feel confident of going to 12.2. At this point, you're not one of the earliest adopters.
I can pick both.
You can pick either one.
Okay.
You're good on
What my type of business is, you give me choice.
That's right.
Other question that is also an interesting one. You explained that you have a full cloud strategy. What about ERP in the cloud? What's your pickup on that?
Right, I think that with really all the cloud products, you could decide to run a family of applications in EBS and another family in the cloud. For example, it's very common to run the ERP and supply chain products in EBS, but maybe run your HCM in the cloud or your customer experience or service products in the cloud. With ERP Cloud, we see a lot of opportunity. We see pickup of the ERP Cloud platform by largely new customers who are adopting, but also we see coexistence between EBS as the ERP platform and some of the capabilities that we have in the ERP Cloud. The Financial Accounting Reporting Cloud Service is probably the best example of that. That's the reporting capabilities we have that are Essbase based around your financial results. And you can get that same reporting while you're still running EBS. We have a seamless integration that we build right out of the box that gives you that financial reporting from the cloud, but while you're still running EBS General Ledger and producing your General Ledger results there, you're just doing your reporting on it in the cloud. So we have many other examples of how you can be running EBS, ERP, but taking advantage of some of the new capabilities we have in the cloud portfolio alongside of it.
Excellent answer. Thanks, Cliff. Cliff, you own Oracle eBusiness Suite, and nowadays youngsters want a fancy product. They own a smartphone, have a tablet, they're on Facebook, so they're social. How do you incorporate all those new user experiences in EBS? What's the roadmap for that?
Right. Well, it's a very important challenge we have. The expectations that millennials have coming into the workforce, working for our customers, are that they expect applications that work like Google and work like internet shopping, work like smartphones, things that they're familiar with in their daily lives. And that's one of the most important investment themes we have in EBS. We need to keep it modern so that it appeals to that type of user. So we've made a lot of investments over the last few years in improving the interfaces to include more shopping-like interface behaviors, even in parts of the ERP system where you're just looking for what data to work on next. You do that through a metaphor, through a navigation process that's much more like internet shopping. We also have built now a family of smartphone apps for EBS. We have 14 of those, and those work against both the 12.1 and the 12.2 release level. So for many functions that you do, for approvals, for checking on the status of something that you've ordered in the procurement system, for entering a time card or for entering expenses, you can do all of that now through a smartphone app, as well as many other line of business functions. So we're trying to make sure that as many people, particularly people whose core job is not to use EBS, but just have an incidental use of the EBS data, they can get what they need done with a smartphone app, and they don't need to worry about training. They could just have a familiar user experience.
So 20-year application made very sexy.
That's the idea, exactly.
What are your last famous words for the interview?
Well, I think it's been a great event here, and I want to say that I think that it's been great to interact with the user community here, and I was here last year, and I'll be here next year, so I look forward to meeting with the customers and understanding what they want in the products and making sure they understand where we're headed with them. So I think it's been a very good meeting.
Let's meet in EBS Day 2016. Thanks, Cliff.
Sounds like a plan.